Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be linked and listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, just take note that I will never be soliciting you for readings in the comment box below or anything like that, and that there are people who are impersonating me down in the comment box. So just be mindful, and if somebody who says they're me says, oh, you can get a reading from me, just email me here, don't do it. Don't do it. Protect yourself. Okay. With that said, now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Now let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Libra, January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels, Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Now let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. Libra, January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Let's start here with self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra. There we go. And this is a sense of really coming into alignment with yourself, kind of coming into your own, knowing what it is that you want from your life, knowing the way that you want to move forward a little bit better, a little bit clearer. This is really kind of taking a stance within your own existence. And then it moves you to your life purpose. It aligns you with your life purpose as you are aligning with your greater power, as you are embracing your voice here. This is the throat chakra. You are speaking your truth into existence. Words are so important, and we tend to forget how important the words that we say are, the words that we speak to others, the words that we speak to ourselves. This is a time where you see yourself speaking your reality into existence and really being aware of it. Because usually we speak our reality into existence, but we're not aware of it. We sit there and we just think, oh, it doesn't mean anything. And so here, as you're saying these words, you're going to see the power to them, and you're going to find the portents to them, the importance of what you're moving towards and what it is that you desire and who it is that you are. And it all comes through words. It all comes through words, through expression, through creativity, through how you see your voice being expressed within the world. And then we have divine wisdom. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above your crown. Divine wisdom comes to you. There is a sense of wisdom, intuition, power, understanding, just like raining down from the ether onto you, raining down from the heavens. And you're going to feel an alignment. You're going to feel a sense of self, a sense of power, a sense of understanding. And it's like, oh, that's my truth, isn't it? Like, that's where I need to be. That's where I want to be. That's who I am. Now, the left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. I'm just going to move these down so you can see them a bit better. And of course, we're going to see how the chakra cards equate to the tarot. So we have the Knight of Swords. Libra, that is you. You come through as a warrior, which is fantastic. You're represented by the swords in the minor arcana. You're represented by justice in the major arcana. You have the star card, so strong Aquarius energy here. January 20th to February 18th is the time frame. Then you have the Ace of Swords coming through, and you have the Four of Cups, so a divine gift coming through. And at times it's going to be hard for you to see that gift, even though it is absolutely aligned with you. You have the Hermit, which is a Virgo energy, August 23rd to September 22nd. You have the 10 of Cups. I love that. And they all live happily ever after. That's the card that signifies it. You have the 3 of Coins, seeing the prosperity, seeing the wealth that you have created. The 4 of Coins, for me, this is my vampiric energy card. This is a sense of people stealing away your power, stealing away your prosperity. And there's really a sense of you looking at things and saying, I don't owe my prosperity to anyone. I mean, yes, there is gratitude to be given to people along the way, and nobody, was sprout fully formed from the head of Zeus like Athena, but there is a sense here of people trying to either steal away your prosperity, your wealth, your joy, your happiness, your love, your essence, because they want to have what you have, or they sit there and they think, I can't do that. And so even if you're looking at yourself and you're saying, well, there's so far for me to go to get to where it is that I want to be, they're still looking at you as like this power source. And they're looking at you as kind of like a way to plug in, to sit there and say, oh, I can drain this energy off of you so that I can be charged up and you're not. And that's something that your heart is really dealing with at this time. Failed relationships, heartbreak, pain, disappointment, angers, arguments, those type of things. And it can also be the people who spoke negativity over you, who were in your life and who have left, but there's still scars there. There's still ways that the mind kind of goes to them. And you can feel that when you think of them, your power is leached. You have the Wheel of Fortune. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. The 7 of Coins. Be patient. The King of Swords. I love it. You become a king. You go from being a warrior of your inner self to in the public arena, you're a warrior in your day-to-day life of every single aspect of your truth. You're very much the warrior king. And then you have the 9 of Swords. You're also looking at the nightmares, looking at the doubts, the fears, the negativity that hold you back, that rob your voice, that make you doubt your truth. And that's going to be a big thing for you to sit there and look at and say, no, I'm still I'm still moving towards my goals. I'm still accomplishing what I need to accomplish. I'm still me. I'm still that person I want to be. And also for a lot of you Libras, you're finding I'm that person I always wanted to be, or I'm that person that I lost along the way when the world just kind of shoveled dung on top of me and said, you're not going to grow through this. Made me feel as if I couldn't. And now you're seeing I can. You were really seeing I can. So let's look at the people who will be aiding you during this time. Who are the people who will be aiding Libra? January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Who are the people who will be aiding Libra? January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Who are the people who will be aiding Libra? January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So we have right here, we have the star chakra, not the star chakra. Well, yeah, we do have the soul star chakra. So this person right here, because I don't believe in that spirit has you misspeak for a reason. I do believe that spirit has you misspeak for a reason. There we go. That's how I wanted to say it. The star chakra and the star card right here, the Aquarius energy, that's going to be like divine wisdom coming down. This is going to be a person that you stumble across their works. You are inspired by them through any form of media or just within your life. And they kind of rain down this wisdom on you. They help you gain an understanding, rein things in, see things more clearly. And it's like, oh, that's it. Like, that's the piece that I was missing. That's what I desire. That's the way that I need to move forward. And it's like, I missed this before. Like, I didn't see this before. And it starts to open up a door. And it can be a very small door that they open, just like something in passing. And it's like, oh, that's it, isn't it? Like, that's truth. And it moves you then to the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It moves you to really being inspired by people who are super passionate. And, okay, so Spirit was like, they can also be a little zealoty, with their passion, like they really found their truth for them. It might not necessarily always be your truth for you. So here, with the Queen of Wands, this is somebody who's not afraid to roll up their sleeves. They're not afraid to, really go after what it is that they want, what it is that they're looking for, where it is that they need to be. And they are super passionate about life, about themselves, about the way that they're moving forward, about what it is that they're doing. And even when they get off track, even when things aren't going exactly the way that they had planned, they still have this passion to them. It's also this passion to figuring out why, to, solving problems. And that moves you then to the Death card, Scorpio energy, which is a person you can be born on the cusp with, as you can with Virgo energy right here. So if you're born on the cusp with Scorpio, this is going to be a person who really speaks to you. If you're born on the cusp with Virgo, this is going to be an energy, a person that really speaks to you during this time, especially with your heart that need to kind of pull inwards, to see things differently and more in alignment with you. But there's going to be a really big urge for your heart to kind of quiet things down and really listen to what it needs, to what you love, to what you want. And that's the thing that's going to really inspire you with the Scorpio energy. It's the fact that you're going to see this person as walking between worlds, as walking on this earthly plane, but also being deeply inspiring, deeply passionate, deeply driven, deeply determined, deeply focused. And as you look at this, and as you see this, and as it calls forward this passion, this determination, this power within you, you start to say, yeah, this is just such a time of why not? Why can't I move forward this way? Why do I have to stop? Because you're having yourself become in alignment with who it is that you are. So when kids are really little and you can kind of see their personality come forward, and then when they start school and everything like that, you can see their personality kind of morphing into, or them kind of morphing a little bit to be more accepted by their peers. This alignment of self-mastery is going into that place that you were when you were small and you didn't realize that there was a rule book or that there was a way you were supposed to be. And this is embracing that bliss. This is embracing that joy and that power, that understanding and that determination forward. That way of saying, this is who I am. This is me in alignment with me. People might get it, awesome. People might not get it, awesome. But this is who I am. And that aligns you with your life purpose. Because your life purpose is not to be everybody else. It's not to be that cookie cutter image like we see all over everywhere now. It is to sit there and say, this is me. This is who I want to be. Because even as the world is embracing all different walks of life and all different people, there still tends to be this one way of seeing things that is more accepted than the other. And it's saying, this is me. This is who I am. And whether my life purpose is to stand in the middle of a stage with everybody looking at me and listening to me, or whether my life purpose is to raise my family, or, create my art, or, sing my truth before I go to work. It does not matter. It does not matter how everybody else views your purpose. It matters how you view it. It matters how you look at yourself. And you're aligning with your steps forward. You're aligning with, but this makes me happy. And how many people in this world, no matter how much they achieve, no matter how much they accumulate, can say, but I'm happy, I'm content, I'm secure, I'm in alignment with me. And that brings me a bit of bliss. And that's what the life purpose does. It's not everybody understanding it, because it doesn't matter if everybody understands. It matters that you understand. And that's the divine wisdom that comes forward, that moves you into a different world, into a different way of seeing things, into a different power, into a different understanding. And it has you here being, this is going to stay like that because it wants to. It has you here being a knight, being a defender of your truth, of where it is that you want to be. Whenever I think of the Knight of Swords, I always think of Prince Charming in Sleeping Beauty. And he comes down, that one scene when he comes down, he slays the dragon, he cuts through the brambles, and he ascends the tower. And I know if you've listened to me before, you're like, oh, Dane, the story again. But it's important. We forget that we're here to slay the dragon that hoards away our prosperity, our gifts, our hopes, our dreams, our desires. Because what does a dragon need with gold and jewels and maidens? What does a dragon need with any of that? A dragon is a construct of our mind. It is the bird of prey, it is the attack from above, and it is the snake in the grass. And so here, we are looking at that, and we're saying, no more. No more do you get to take away what is rightfully mine. No longer do I get to be afraid to look at my gifts, to look at what I want from my life, and say, oh, but that's silly. I get to walk forward now and say, but that's me. And if people think it's silly, that's fine. But there's something for everyone in this world. There's a way forward for everyone in this world. To find it, to accept it, to see it, to hear it, to be it. That's what's important. And that's what cutting through the brambles is. It's cutting through the poison of the beauty of the world. Because enough pricks by rose thorns can kill. And that's what you're seeing here. It's like it can be beautiful, but it can also be so detrimental to who you are and where you're going and what you want to be. And then you ascend, you raise your consciousness vibration, and you awaken that princess. You awaken the sacred feminine. You awaken the aspect of yourself that has been asleep for too long. And you say, why can't I be this and me? Why can't I have the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine coming together within myself, within my soul, and moving me forward in power? Why can't I? And as you come together, that's when the wishes start to be granted. That's when you start to see this balance, because Libra, you're all about balance. That's your thing, your justice, your balance, your discernment. That's one of the things that is your life lesson, to be discerning, to sit there and say, I can't let that energy into my life. I can't move forward that way. It's not right for me. And saying to certain people, maybe the road ends here, and certain ways that you thought, oh, I'd be happy this way. And now you're looking at it, you're doing it, and it's like, no, I'm not. So how do you keep the scales in balance? And that's embracing the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine, the sacred aspects of yourself, the part that is out there and outgoing, the part that is more introverted and compassionate and understanding. And so you find this balance within you, and you move forward in it. And it balances the waters that are being poured and the way that you're looking at things on the earthly land, okay, in the practical world, and in the spiritual world, in the world of your soul, in the world of what your soul needs to feel you, to feel the most like you, to heal you, and to move forward in that truth. And as you are embracing this understanding, as you are embracing this wisdom, you are embracing you. You are embracing what you need, you're embracing what you desire, you're embracing your way forward, and you're cutting through the muck and the mire of it all to say, this is where I stand, this is my truth, this is my power, this is my wisdom. And divinity is blessing you because of it. And you're going to see these blessings moving you forward in a way that you hadn't imagined before, moving you forward in a way that gives you what your soul has been longing for. So we sit there and we think, oh, if I just had that new car, or if I just had that new house, or if I just had this, if I just had that. And you're going to see that what you're wanting is stability, security. What you're wanting is mobility and freedom of expression and freedom of soul. And you're going to see that divinity is answering those wishes, the wishes of the soul that move you forward, that you need to become and to embrace and to be empowered. And it leads you then to getting a gift. And you most definitely take this, especially in your inner self when you're looking at things and you're fighting your way through darkness or despair, doubt, fear, anger, upset, to really see the wishes coming forward, to really see the highest form of man's perfection being spoken over you, guiding you towards what is more. And you have this beautiful gift. And the Ace of Swords is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you this gift of knowledge, of wisdom, of power for generations to come. Because it's changing the way you look at things. It's changing the road. So with air, as an air sign energy, think of having this like mountain in your way. And the winds just hitting against this mountain. And over time, it molds, it shapes the mountain. And that's what you're doing here with this gift that's coming in. And with the power of you moving forward towards what you want and fighting towards where you see your truth being. And you're really looking at things and saying, I've come so far. I've fought so long. And here is where I need to be. This is my truth. And the thing is that as being represented by the swords, in the minor arcana, you are represented by a weapon. Its main use, a sword, is as a weapon. And so here, when you hone your mind is like a weapon. Your mind is so keen, so sharp, so available, okay, to expand and to move in this wisdom, that divinity hands you gifts that sometimes feel a little bit more like burdens. They sometimes are so great, and they put such dreams within your soul that you think, how can I move forward that way? Like, how can I have that be a part of me? And you're going to see here that it opens up clarity. It opens up a way for you to move forward, a way for you to look at things, a way for you to, embrace what you desire. And it's going to open up a greater truth. And it's going to come to you in a way here, and that's what Spirit is showing, in a way with the Four of Cups that you're not expecting. You're going to think, oh, well, it's going to be like this. Or, oh, I have this figured out. And this gift comes, and it doesn't feel like a gift. It feels a bit like a burden. It feels like something that is just, out of your comfort zone, not really what you want, not really what you expected. But as you look at it, as you see more of you. You see more of what you need. You see more of the way that you want to walk forward. You see more of who it is that you are. And all of a sudden, that gift, which at first looks like nothing, looks like something a little kid would make and say, oh, I got this for you, has the deepest meaning. Because at first you look at it and you think, what the heck is that? And then you realize that it was done with such care and took such effort and was presented with such love. And that's going to be something that kind of has this shift. And it's going to be a very interesting shift because I see here, so as I look down, it almost seemed as if the page was turning on its own. And there's something underneath that he's sitting on. But the book is opened here. And there are these words that have been memorized. I can just think of this as a story that he's always loved and that is just such a part of him. And then all of a sudden, the page is turning on its own because that's what it feels like here. All of a sudden, divinity is like moving things forward in a way that jumps you ahead and has you looking at things and almost feel like you're out of scene. It's kind of like you've just fast forward on the TV show and you don't know exactly what's going on. But then all of a sudden, the questions are being answered. All of a sudden, things come together in a way that makes you think, oh, wow, I like this show, whereas before I didn't. And then it starts having you be much more introverted because it's going to be a time where you start to see things kind of lining up. You start to see yourself looking at the balance of what you need, the balance of what you want, where it is that you long to be. And the Hermit has you here shining that light within the darkness and finding that path, finding that way that you need to move forward, that place that you want to be, soul, body, mind, spirit. And as you look at things more openly, more honestly, as you look at things more powerfully for yourself, you're going to sit there and say, why have I let the noise get in the way? Why have I let everybody's opinion, everybody's words overpower my own. And that's going to be one of the things that you're fighting for. You're fighting for your truth. You're fighting for your way forward. And yes, that can seem like an ongoing theme of life, because it is an ongoing theme of life. There are so many times where we can lose our path. And there are so many times we lose our path, where life gets frustrating, when we get overwhelmed. And it's like, step it back. Step it back. So often when this happens, we either go to live in the past or we go to live in the future. But now it's time to live in the present and look at that light that is guiding us forward. Look at that way that is calling us towards our divine truth and our greatest hopes, because it leads us to our happily ever after. Because it shows us, as corny as it might sound, that all the answers in the world are not gotten externally. They're gotten internally. And there is power in the quiet, simple truth. And that's what your heart needs right now. That quiet, simple truth. Not the, I can shout louder than you. Not the, I'm going to prove that I'm right truth. It is the truth of compassion, of love, of understanding, and of peace. And it leads you towards your happily ever after, because you're looking at what you want. And again, it doesn't have to be something magnificent. It doesn't have to be the biggest house on the block. It doesn't have to be the fanciest cars. It has to be what's right for your soul. It has to be something quiet and stable and beautiful and secure and true. And as you embrace the 10 of Cups, as you move forward in your love, as you move forward in your understanding, as you move forward in your happily ever after, that happily ever after is what's right for you. It's not what's right for everybody else. Everybody else can have their own way forward. Everybody else has their own dream. And yes, it's painted in the broad scopes of, oh, I just want to be happy. Oh, I just want to be loved. But the way we boil it down for the individual, that's quite different. Oh, I just want a job that I like going to. Well, personalities are different. Oh, I just want a person who I adore being with. Well, taste is different, And so here, it's looking at this and it's saying, well, I need to do what's right for me. And at first that can seem rather flippant. But it's like, okay, am I a city person or a country person? Or a suburb person? Am I this or am I that? How do I need to move forward? And it always describes our personality more than it describes anything else. And so here, as you fall in love with your world. You fall in love with your life. It's a slow and steady romance. It's something beautiful that's evolving over time. As we evolve over time, we can see the things that we liked when we were younger are not the things that we like right now. Like 5 years ago, we could look back and be like, wow, I'm so different than who I was then. And it's a powerful transformation. And it's a beautiful place to say, I walk in love. I walk gently and I walk lovingly. And divinity guides me forward. And that's where you start to see the light of your prosperity, of your bounty, of your abundance come in. And the 3 of Coins sits there and says, this is what I've worked towards. This is what I've worked for. This is what I've built for myself, with myself, to guide me forward, to lead me to what is greater. And as this prosperity comes in, other people will try to take credit for it. Will sit there and say, well, I did this for you. And you're going to turn around and say, no, I did this for me. I had help along the way. We all do. Whether it be from divinity, whether you can pinpoint people. But I had help along the way. But I also created this world for myself. I don't owe anybody anything. But I owe me the truth, the beauty, and the brilliance of my soul. And it leads you to being guided in prosperity. It leads you to looking at things differently because you can see how you built it. It's like, no, I've worked hard for this. It's not oh my gosh, I don't know how this happened and everybody else did all the work. It's like, no, I worked hard for this. And other people, and we can see that with the 4 of Coins, other people try to take credit for it. They'll try to sit there and say, I did this for you. You owe me. Or I always believed in you. Or you know darn well that they were the first one to throw you under the bus. But they come back. They come back because you're a nice person. They come back because you're balancing the scales and you're harmonious by nature, Libra. And they sit there and they say, oh, well, I always knew you could do it. And you're looking at them and you're like, no, you didn't. You did not. And here, it's a release of that vampiric energy. It's like taking the leeches off your skin and saying, no, I'm done. No more. It's like being eaten by mosquitoes, right? And getting rid of them, like swatting them away, and then all the mosquito bites healing. You're done. You're done with the venom that they leave behind. You're done with the discomfort that they bring into your life. You're done. And it can be gradual steps to being done. It can be things that you are slowly turning away from. And you sit there and you get pulled back. You get pulled back by curiosity. You can get pulled back by jealousy. It's like, oh, why them and not me type of thing. And it starts to lead you down that road, which starts to bring back the vampiric energy because it made you think, oh, I'm just not as good as everybody else. Or, oh, I don't get to have this prosperity. And that's a bold-faced lie. You get to. And as you move forward in the prosperity of who it is that you are and the place that you want to be, it leads you to the Wheel of Fortune. It leads you to an absolute change. And I love that this is an owl fortune teller. It's just gorgeous. So here, you are going to see that a new season comes. And it can be a season in the public arena of rest and contemplation. It can be a season of having to be kind of more on your toes, more interactive with things, but it has you really looking inward. And you do have kind of the conflicting emotions of the warrior, okay, the knight, the defender, and also the seeker, the quester, the hermit, the person who turns in to see how to move forward. And with the Wheel of Fortune, you're going to see the new season coming. You're going to see the new place that you want to be, that you need to be, body, mind, spirit, and soul. And you start to see this change come in. You start to see this change of seasons. You start to see this change of self. And as you're looking at things in the public arena, people might be sitting there and saying, well, you're not acting as you usually do here, Libra. And they might not be as comfortable with the stance that you are taking now that they were before, because before they could kind of push you around a little bit because you were keeping the harmony. And do note that when you step into your authenticity, all right, it can almost feel like you can be a little bit more combative. And just even internally, you might be like, I know I'm moving towards my truth, but I feel more at odds with myself. And that's because that's the last grip of chaos, kind of holding on to you, saying, no, you can't move forward this way, and no, you can't do this, because I want you to stay in the chaos. I want you to stay in the overwhelmed state. I want your vibration to be down here, not up here. Because if your vibration is up here, you're not sowing the seeds of chaos. You're not, throwing things into despair. And here with the 7 of Coins, it says, be patient. Be patient with the prosperity that's being planted. Be patient as you walk into this new season, because there is a new bounty. There is a new way forward. And if you rush it, it's not going to be as sweet. This is divine timing, not our timing, which always is so frustrating. But it is also very important to say, divine timing guides me. Divine timing knows me. Because you're walking into the role of a king. And the King of Swords is not somebody to mess around with. The King of Swords is somebody who doesn't hold back, is somebody who speaks their mind. This isn't being cruel or mean or caustic in any way at all. It is sitting there and saying, this is who I am. This is my truth. This is what I fought so hard for. And this is who I get to be. I cut through the bull. I cut through the malarkey. I cut through the lies and the deceits and the angers and the despair. And I move forward in truth. In my truth. And I fought too long, and I know too much now to turn back, to not be me. And so the change starts to build around you. The fighting builds around you, not in a sense of being at war with everybody, but in a sense of saying no to the darkness, no to the chaos, no to the doubts, the fears, the anger, and saying yes to your authenticity, yes to taking time to do what's important to you. Yes to sitting there and saying, okay, I can get mad at this, or I can know that it has to be done, and I might as well be the one who does it. It's not being taken advantage of. That is something that you have to be mindful of. But it is sitting there and saying, this needs to be done, and I am the warrior to do it. And then it moves you to a place of strength that has you looking at nightmares, that has you looking at things that have held you back. And it can have you at times facing the darkness that you faced before, that held you back, that kept you silent, and now you're looking at it and you're saying, no, this nightmare is over. I'm done with it. I'm facing the hawk. I'm facing my greatest fears, and I'm seeing that it doesn't destroy me. I got up. It doesn't mean that it didn't break your heart and bring you to your knees, but it didn't take you out of the game, and you are moving forward with passion and with determination, but you're looking at the fears. And the fears can overwhelm you at times in the public arena. During this time, it can be just a bit too much. So here, just know, okay, do be aware that you are going to have moments where you sit there and all of a sudden it could be something as simple as doing a return at the shop or something like that, like doing something so simple that you've done a million times before, but now you're scared. Now you're afraid. Now you're sitting there and thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do this. And you might even kind of need somebody to go with you, which sounds so silly, but it's going to be something where you sit there and you're like, for some reason, there's a fear that comes up. There's a bit of a nightmare that comes up. But now, because you're facing it, and even if you need to face it with somebody on your side, it's like, oh, I did that. I did that and I'm okay. And that's going to be so good for you. And that's going to be so empowering, because it's like, oh, I can do this. And also, I can be silly about things sometimes. And it can be overwhelming, and it can be scary for whatever reason. And you have the repeat of the number 9. So you're coming very close to a completion of a cycle. You have the repeat of the number 10. Emotionally, you are coming to a completion of a cycle. And you're coming very close to a completion of a cycle here when it comes to your mind and your heart coming together. When it comes to the way that you're seeing things, the way that you're reasoning with things, the way that you're gaining a greater understanding. So let's go deeper. Libra. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And one bonus card. And let's look at the people you need to be mindful of during this time. Who are the people that Libra needs to be mindful of? January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Who are the people that Libra needs to be mindful of? January 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. These 3. So we have the Prince of Wands. This is somebody with a fiery temper who charges forward before they think. They really, really do. And they can get you all swept up in it. But they can also have a tendency just to almost want to pick a fight. It's like they want to pick a fight. They have something that they're really mad about, something that they're super frustrated with, and they're going to want to take it out on you. And Libra, you're going to want to keep the peace. You're going to want to keep things balanced. And just know that this person has their own agenda, has their own issue, is dealing with something greater here than what is being like presented in front of you. It's like there's multi-layers to it. Then you have the Prince of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is somebody who's very methodical, who very much thinks everything out. And they're moving very slowly, but they're also not going to understand your vision. They're going to sit there and see their vision, what they desire, but they're not going to see your vision and what you desire. Stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. Know that, yes, this person plans everything out, looks at everything, kind of, weighs their options, but you need to move forward in the way that is right for you, in the option that is right for you. And then this moves you to justice. This moves you to you, Libra. Now, yes, this could be a conflict with another Libra, but this is telling me that you will, at times, during this time period, get in your own way. You will either try to be too just to people, sit there and say, I have to be fair to everyone. So either you wind up being fair to no one, or you wind up definitely not being fair to yourself. You can overthink, you can overanalyze, you can, sit there and worry a lot about the way things are heading, what's going on. So here it's kind of like stepping back, stepping into your wisdom, seeing what it is that you desire. And I'm just seeing here, this little tiny spider is just popping out to me for some reason, and I've actually never noticed it before this moment. And it's a sense of what is being spun here. the web of existence, the coming together of your understanding. It's bigger than you know. It really is. Okay, so let's see. You have the Four of Wands. I love it. The Six of Cups. Okay, so a bit of nostalgia coming in. The Hanged Man. You see things differently than everybody else. The Five of Cups. Interesting. The Queen of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. The Five of Pentacles. Oh, okay. You have the Ace of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Here, there is something about passion, fire, determination. It can be brought forward by a fire sign energy, but it's embracing, it's either a fire sign energy within your chart or the way that you need to move forward for you right here. And it's flying. It's embracing your flight. You have you coming through right over the King of Swords. So you are definitely embracing this warrior, balance, truth aspect of yourself. The Three of Wands, new horizons. And the Prince of Cups. Again, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And being a student of your heart, of what you desire, of the way that you need to move forward. So we have here the Four of Wands. As you are a warrior and as you are looking at your passion, at what it is that you want, your soul's truth, okay? You start to celebrate your life. You start to celebrate yourself. You start to look at things openly, honestly, personally. You start to build a foundation of truth, understanding, and being. And that's what opens you up to what you desire in life. That's what leads you to new opportunities, business opportunities, love opportunities, joy opportunities. You know, you sit there and it's like, why can't I call this joy into my existence? Why can't I have this beauty be a part of me? And you start to have that joy coming forward, and it's so important to you. It's so important to celebrate your life, celebrate your existence, celebrate what you love, where you want to be. You might be saying, Dane, I don't know. I just know that I'm miserable. I don't want to be here. And it's looking for little sparks of joy, little pieces of joy to focus on, and start to kind of build that. It's kind of like you're planting a seed and you're watching it grow and you're watching it grow. And there are times here with these gifts being handed to you, where they're gifts that you have, and they might be gifts that you've always had, but you've never seen them as gifts because they're your gifts. You know, they're what you do. They're who you are. And so you don't see it as cool. You don't see it as amazing. And plus, you could have been mocked for it. You could have always been the sensitive one. You could have always been the creative one. You could have always been the dreamer. And now you start to see that these gifts mean something. And these gifts are powerful to you and for you. But because of the negativity that was spoken over you, because of the pain and the sorrow that you've been through, it's kind of corrupted the way you see these gifts. It's corrupted the way that you want to move forward in life, or that you think you can move forward. And it's saying the past doesn't have any power over me anymore. It doesn't. Yes, it can scare me and overwhelm me, and it shaped me, but it doesn't have the power to control me anymore. And now I move forward. I move forward to who I am and who I want to be. And it moves you to the Hangman. It moves you to seeing things differently. Things that once felt like curses become blessings. And you look at things differently. You look at yourself differently. And you start to see the gifts that were ignored before, what you hadn't seen, what hadn't made itself clear. And you're not going to be like everybody else, Libra. And that's okay. Be different. You know, one of my favorite poems when I was little says, so what if I'm different and don't act like them? I'm not going to change and be someone I'm not. I like who I am, and I'm all that I've got. And that's important. There's one person you will be with from your first breath to your last breath, and that's yourself. So liking you and being proud of you is so important. The Five of Cups over the heart. Change your mind, change your life. Change what you are looking at. It is so easy in this world to fall into despair, heartbreak, pain, disappointment. Look and live our lives by only looking at all the ways we messed up, all the disappointments we've had, all the nonsense, all the lessons. And we don't turn around and see the blessings. We don't turn around and see the Two of Cups behind us, even though we're seeing everything else. But all we're looking at is our reality through tears. And here, as we look at blessings and as we see this healing love, we start to see the light of our truth guiding us. And we start to see the rainbows, the hopes, the joys, the destiny. It leads us then to the Queen of Cups. It leads us to knowing that I only rule one person, and that's me. I can only move forward in my truth, in my understanding, in my wisdom. And it's moving forward in love of self, in love of what you're building, in love of who you are. It's nurturing that love. It's nurturing every aspect of you. It's nurturing every fear of failure, every rejoice in success. It's nurturing your being, and it's calling forward the power of your soul. And it brings you then to the Five of Pentacles. The repeat of the number 5 as we go deeper into your heart shows that you're breaking free. All right? It also shows that things are going to be more easily resolved than you had thought. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to be resolved overnight, but you could be looking at things and thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever, and it doesn't, which is cool. And the 5 of Pentacles has our doubts and our fears and feeling like we're barred from wealth. And that's because of the vampiric energy. That's because of what we've been through that has us sitting there and saying, oh, well, I was never supposed to succeed. If somebody sat in my 3rd grade class and said, who would be a success, they wouldn't have picked me. And that's fine. You know what? People are wrong all the time. You're looking at being on the outside of wealth. You're looking at being on the outside of your prosperity. And you're saying, enough. Enough. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. I don't want to be sad and upset anymore. I just don't. I get to be me. I get to embrace my truth, my power, my life, my being, my blessing. And it moves you to the Ace of Wands. It moves you to passion. It moves you to creativity. It moves you to knowing that the patience has been worth it. And you're going to be rising like this phoenix from the ashes. You are going to be rising. And every single day when we wake up, every single moment is a chance to rise, is a chance to be different, is a chance to move forward in our truths. And it leads us to a justice of self, a justice of desire, a justice of balance. It leads you to the true essence of yourself, looking at this passion, looking at this fire, looking at this determination and saying, this is me. This is who I need to be. And you are a warrior. And as you are a warrior, the world opens to you differently. You start to see your ships come in. You start to see your ships go out. You're not held back by nightmares anymore. It is going to be a challenge because you're always you are. You're always going to come up against that kind of wall that says you could fail. And you're going to say, yes, I can. But at least I know the worst is sweet. Defeat means nothing but defeat. And that's from Emily Dickinson. And so here, you start to say that. You start to say, I can move forward. I can be more than I expected. I can have more than I dreamed. Because I rise. And because I embrace the horizon. I embrace what I desire. I embrace what I need. And you start to then become a student of your soul, of what it is that you want, of what it is that you love in life, where it is that you want to be, how it is that you want to move forward. You start to become that student. And you embrace that grace. You embrace that love. You embrace that understanding. And you sit there. And again, it's like, why not? Why can't this be my truth? Why can't this joy be a part of me? Why can't I move forward this way? And it moves you to your subconscious chakra message. Not chakra message. Your subconscious. This isn't your subconscious. This is your spirit animal message. There we go. And then we'll get to your subconscious, which apparently spirit is very excited for. So let's see here. Libra, January 16th to the 31st, 2021 Libra. January 16th to the 31st, 2021 Libra. January 16th to the 31st, 2021 Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. The Scarab Beetle spirit says, magic works through you. It does. Magic works through you. It works in you. It works around you. It works with you. And the Scarab Beetle was sacred in ancient Egypt. And so you are embracing that sacredness. You are embracing a beauty that is now easily overlooked. And you are seeing that there is magic, that there is stardust in your veins, that there is this power of creation, that the God's head lives within you. And you can create the world that you want. Not exactly as you imagined it, but there is power within the belief of self and the determination of soul. And that will is your magic. Then we have the lion spirit. Be generous of spirit. Be generous to yourself. Be generous to the world around you. Be generous to who you love. But also know that they have to be generous to you. It moves you then to the hummingbird spirit. Be here now. Be in the present. Don't live in the past. Don't live for the future. Be here now. And watch the world open up to you as you do. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the lizard spirit. Dream the world into being. It's time. It's time to dream the world into being. It's time to embrace those dreams, to move forward in that truth. Again, why not instead of why? Dream that world into being. And as you do so, your subconscious person message is the Sagittarius. And that's why the fire energy came out. Because subconsciously, you are taking this gift. You are looking at this gift. And you're saying, this is my power. This is my truth. This is my spiritual journey forward. This is what I stand for. This is my connection with the ether. This is what I want from life. This is how I'm pulling things together. And at times you're going to think, oh, I can't do that. Like, I can't be like that. And this is saying, oh, yes, I can. Oh, yes, I can. And what's more important, I will be. I will be moving in this fire, in this success, in this brilliance, in this truth. And you're looking towards the spiritual, you're looking towards your happiness, and it brings you then to your subconscious chakra message, which is meditation, which is peace. You're embracing your heart chakra. You're embracing your peace. You're embracing your love. You're embracing your life. And you're saying, this is my peace. This is my truth. And this is how I move forward in this love. It's quieting the world around you, the chaos of the outside, and it's embracing the peace from within. Your subconscious tarot message is the Death card. This is Scorpio energy. This is the dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. You might sit there at times and mourn the transformation and sit there and say, oh, well, it was better when. But you are stronger now. You are more powerful now in your purpose forward, in the path of your life, in who it is that you want to be. And I know that might sound wrong to sit there and say you're more powerful now. I know some of you are going to sit there and say, no, I'm not. Everything has fallen apart and I'm overwhelmed and I feel lost and afraid. And here it is looking at that and it's knowing that you're coming out of darkness into light, into a better understanding of who it is that you are, why it is that you're here, what it is that you're going after. The Death card is profound transformation, and that's what you're embracing. Profound transformation that leads you looking at this world so differently and embracing within you a luck and a determination and a fire and a brilliance that would otherwise have been overlooked. It moves you then to go deeper to your subconscious. And you have the Prince of Wands. You're moving forward in your passion. Again, you definitely take this gift. You're moving forward in your passion and your determination. You are being a student of what it is that you love, of what brings you joy and why it brings you joy, and how you move forward, and where it is that you want to be, and what it is that you desire. And it's like, oh, I didn't know that it could be like this. And I didn't know I could move forward this way. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move forward in balance, peace, and love. As you see things differently, because you no longer see yourself as the victim, but as the victor. And you're rising to heights once only slightly dared to be imagined. It's like you almost dared to and then thought, oh no, I couldn't. And now you're saying, oh yes, I can. And what's more importantly, I will. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra.